Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, today we're jumping right in to break down an event that is nothing short of internet history. We're looking at a massive, incredibly nostalgic tournament orchestrated by MrBeast, who managed to bring together 50 of the most iconic creators for an epic series of challenges. And you know, this wasn't just a competition, it was honestly a full-blown reunion of the exact people who practically invented the genres we're all watching today. 50. That's literally 50 YouTube legends in one room. We're talking about the creators who basically ran the platform for the last 15 years. Vloggers, gamers, trickshot artists, pranksters, the whole shebang. The scale of this event was just so staggering that even Chad, one of the actual co-founders of YouTube itself, was a competitor. I mean, it truly doesn't get more legendary than that.
So the crucial point is the staggering prize waiting at the end of this massive gauntlet. The ultimate survivor of this cube wasn't just going to win bragging rights. They'd be walking away with $1 million to give directly back to their subscribers. Every single creator in that room was fighting tooth and nail for their community.
And what makes this explainer so special is really the underlying respect behind all the spectacle. This was basically Jimmy's way of giving back to the people who inspired him when he was just a kid making videos in his bedroom. It frames everything you're about to see not just as some high-stakes game, but as a genuine, heartfelt celebration of YouTube's history.
Section 1. Throwback Trends and Trick Shots. So the very first elimination round kicked off this totally chaotic set of challenges designed to test everyone's observation skills, and it tapped right into a massive recent internet trend. Creators walked into a room to find 5 Lamborghinis. To survive, they had to choose a spot next to a real car. If they chose the one car made entirely out of cake, boom, instantly eliminated. And let me tell you, the craftsmanship was so absurdly good that these creators were completely baffled.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the creators didn't just guess, they actively problem-solved. Teams like Corridor Digital actively searched for visual flaws. They were analyzing the shininess of the windows, the way the ambient light reflected off the surface, and structural angles that just felt kinda off. And as soon as someone spotted a weakness in car number 4, a crazy metagame of spot stealing erupted, which led to a massive group elimination for anyone trapped next to the cake. Next up, the tournament shifted from pure luck and observation to actual physical skill, bringing back arguably one of the biggest trends in YouTube history, the bottle flip. Sounds incredibly simple, right? But this fun, nostalgic throwback instantly became a massive bottleneck when the creators were forced into teams of 10. Because these rules completely changed the vibe in the room. One by one, creators had to land a bottle flip, and if you choked under the pressure, your entire team was held up. This intense, mounting stress led to the absolutely heartbreaking elimination of the blue team, which sadly meant we had to say goodbye to OG vloggers and pranksters like Fauzi and Smilemore, who simply just ran out of time.
Let's move into Section 2, Observation and Social Tactics. As the crowd started thinning out, raw skill gave way to a totally different kind of survival. We entered the middle rounds, where psychological deduction and forming social alliances became pretty much the only way to make it through. The remaining creators faced a curtain drop that revealed hundreds of mannequins. Their objective? Identify the 5 hidden humans among them. And to make it a true trip down memory lane, those humans would only move slightly when the beat dropped to the copyrighted classic internet anthem, the Harlem Shake.
And guys, this is exactly where the gameplay evolved from cooperative to completely cutthroat. To secure one of those coveted top 15 spots, creators formulated sweeping strategies and formed alliances. But by the third step of this metagame, they quickly stopped playing fair. Actually, scratch that. They completely ignored the mannequins and just started looking at each other's keypads, stealing and copying input codes to survive. This ruthless strategy worked for some, for sure, but it also resulted in legends like Casey Neistat being tragically eliminated.
All right, Section 3, Surviving the Lava Handcuffs.
Okay, let's dive into this, because the physical stakes escalated super fast with an unbelievable setup. They literally brought the childhood imagination game, Floor is Lava, into massive reality. But because this is a $1 million tournament, simply not touching the floor wasn't going to be hard enough on its own.
The specific twists they added to this round are what made it so incredibly punishing. Players were handcuffed in teams of 3 and had to slowly shuffle across this huge room using only 2 stepping stones. If even a shoelace brushed the lava, the entire trio is out. We literally saw Ali A carrying a teammate on his back just to survive. While on the flip side, a tragic misstep by Chad, again the co-founder of YouTube, eliminated his entire group right at the finish line. Just brutal.
Moving on to Section 4, the spicy bluffing game.
So with only 6 creators left, the game slows down and shifts into this really tense one-on-one psychological warfare, a challenge selected specifically by the sidemen. The dynamic here became incredibly fierce. The creator with the oldest channel upload got to choose their fate, either endure a chip rated at over 2 million Scoville units, or play the interrogator and try to read their opponent's poker face. If the guesser was right, the eater went home. But if the guesser was wrong, the guesser went home.
And this brilliantly illustrates how creators had to look for the tiniest tells. Glossy eyes, subtle breathing changes, maybe an overly stiff posture. Ali A correctly read that his opponent was bluffing about not eating the hot chip. Meanwhile, Jelly just completely stonewalled his interrogator, eating the blazing hot chip without showing a single drop of sweat, which secured his spot in the finale alongside Ali A and JC.
Which brings us to Section 5, building $1 million.
This brought us to the grand finale, the ultimate homage to the specific video game that shaped countless YouTube careers over the past decade. The mechanics for the $1 million finish were beautifully simple. The final 3 were given a massive pile of physical building blocks, and they had exactly 1 hour to build the absolute best house they could. But the real twist? Their fate was entirely in the hands of the 47 peers they had just watched get eliminated, who all returned to cast the final votes.
Now, this challenge wasn't random at all. Minecraft was literally the very first game Jimmy ever uploaded to his channel. It was just the perfect full-circle moment to wrap up an event entirely dedicated to the history of the platform.
And right in the middle of this frantic building session, there was a huge surprise interruption. YouTube CEO Neil Mohan stepped onto the set to present a custom award celebrating the channel crossing a mind-bending 500 million subscribers. Just a historic milestone embedded right inside a historic competition. Incredible. So as the final 3 scrambled to assemble their treehouses, fortresses, and flower beds under extreme exhaustion, it leaves us with one final thought. When the pressure is at its absolute peak, and $1 million for the fans who built your career is hanging in the balance, what strategy would you take? It's a real testament to creativity under fire. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.